Here are some habits that make life 10 times simpler. Number 1, own less than 50 items of clothing. Why do we own so many clothes? We don't need any of these clothes. As soon as I decluttered my wardrobe, life got so much simpler and less stressful. When I open my wardrobe in the morning, I don't have all this clutter, all these clothes, half the clothes I couldn't even see. I now wear everything in my cupboard. How crazy. I wear every single item. Don't get me wrong, I'm still decluttering all the time because I'm addicted to decluttering. But at the moment I own about 40. I always want to keep it below 50. I just love it. And it doesn't mean I have to sacrifice fashion in any way. I still wear what I want to wear. I'm not wearing boring things all the time. I just don't own a load of shit that I don't want to own. My wardrobe used to be 90% stuff I didn't want to wear. What's the point in that? Owning fewer items of clothing is literally just a game changer. I love it. And I do still buy things, don't get me wrong, I'm not on a no-buy vibe. All of my stuff's always second-hand, but I do still buy extra things. But I just have a rule, if I buy something, I have to get rid of something. If you have a lot of clothes right now, the first declutter is the worst. It's very overwhelming when you own so many pieces of clothing, but honestly, as soon as you start that first one, you're going to get into the swing of it and you're going to be addicted. I love it. Declutter your wardrobe. Own as little as possible. My general rule is own less than 50 pieces of clothing, but whatever suits you, make it work. Number 2 is having a capsule grocery list. Obviously, sort of follows the capsule wardrobe vibe, but for groceries, I only buy like 15 things. I have a list on my phone that just is the same every week. I buy basically the same stuff every week, which might seem quite boring, but I do rotate fruits and veg depending what's in season. And I'm not completely limiting myself to trying anything new, but I'm a creature of habit and I'm quite boring. I just eat the same things most of the time. So I just like this method of buying basically the same foods every week, making roughly the same meals, give or take a few different vegetables. It means there's less food waste, less decision fatigue. I'm not having to find recipes all the time. I'm someone that doesn't really like cooking. I just throw things in a bowl. So it suits me very well. I do have a capsule grocery list video, which I filmed a while ago, so it's a little bit different now, but as I say, I don't ever change it up that much. So it is more or less the same. So if you want to check that out, I'll link it somewhere on this screen. I don't know how this works, but somewhere. It just makes life simple having a capsule grocery list. I just tick them as I buy them, and then I untick them as they run out. Number 3 is not buying too much fresh food. This is a bit of a weird one coming from a nutritionist because I feel like nutritionists love to scream about how fresh food is the best, you know, whole fresh food, blah, blah, blah. However, actually, no, frozen stuff, just as good, if not better, especially when it comes to fruit and veg because they're picked at the peak ripeness. All of those micronutrients are retained as they're frozen. So you're actually getting more micronutrients when you eat frozen. Not only that, it's usually cheaper. And it massively reduces food waste, which just reduces the stress of having to like eat things up in the fridge or eat things up in the cupboard. I'm never really stressing about having to eat things before they go out of date because so much of my food is either frozen or in a tin or it's just dried food. Don't get me wrong, I still eat a fair bit of fresh food, but I do rely on that frozen stuff as well. Number 4 is not cooking. Really dramatic. We're going into the food realm thing. Sorry, I'm a nutritionist. I'm going to talk about food. But not cooking is one of my favourite things to do. I love not cooking. I like throwing things in a bowl and just calling it a meal. And it usually is a meal, you know, salads. I'll just chuck in a load of veg, a load of peas, a load of beans, some tofu or tempeh. I'll make up a little sauce with tahini. Easy and no cooking. I did have an air fryer at one point. When I lived with my old housemate, she had an air fryer, so I did cook with that a bit. That is a nice utensil to cook with because it's nice and quick and easy. However, I don't have the air fryer anymore. I'm sort of umming and ahhing whether to get one, but right now I don't even need one because I just don't feel it's necessary right now. Sometimes I microwave stuff, but I'm not using the hob or the oven. And if I do, it's just going to be a one pot thing. I'm not about this like million item cooking situation. 8 hobs used at the same time all cooking. No, I don't love that. Less washing up as well. Simple, easy. Number 5 is walking and cycling most places because I'm a city girl. I live in the city. So obviously this is not as easy if you live in the countryside or elsewhere. I'm living in London right now and I refuse to get buses or the tube or the train. I do sometimes if it's quite a distance. But for the most part, I will cycle everywhere and I'll walk everywhere because if you're blessed with a body you can use it. It's such a nice way to get sort of organic exercise in, as I call it. It's exercise, but you don't feel like you're exercising. You're not sort of like, shit, I've got to go on a run. No, I'm just going to cycle to work. No, I'm just going to cycle to my friend's house. Easy. It's killing 2 birds with one stone, you know? You're getting somewhere and you're also exercising, getting fresh air. You're not stuck on these busy trains or buses. You're not relying on public transport, which just never fucking works. So this one's a big one. It has genuinely simplified my life massively. 6 is having the same meals on repeat. I sort of touched on this with my capsule wardrobe, but I just want to re-emphasize that I love repeat meals, okay? And it really makes life so simple. If you just repeat your meals, they don't have to be as sort of simple and raw as mine because I honestly barely cook anything. But even if you want to do a bit of cooking, that's fine. Just have meals on repeat. You can then just make them very quickly and it's easy. And it means you're always stocked up with those kind of ingredients because it's a repeat meal. Just don't feel like you have to try a million different recipes out. If you love cooking, you like experimenting, save that shit for the weekend, you know? I'm just a fan of repetition. Maybe I'm just severely autistic and I can't handle change. I don't know. I just like the habits that I'm in and I think it really simplifies life. It's stopping all these silly decisions that you don't even want to make and you don't have to make. Just repeat. Next is unsubscribing from emails and notifications. I hate. Get rid of these emails and these silly notifications that come through. Anytime I get an email from a brand and I think, who the fuck are you? Literally don't know. Like, why is this company emailing me? Unsubscribe, get rid. This is something you have to do as it goes along. You can't really go back and unsubscribe to things. I mean, you can, but that's just an ordeal. You can go back and delete all your old emails. I did that once. I did a whole big declutter. Now I'm more just like staying on top of it. But it's a big thing. It's a big thing to do. Just beware. But having a busy, cluttered inbox is chaos. You can't see where anything is. I do need to organize mine a bit more, maybe into folders. But I just think having less digital clutter in your email inbox, all of that shit. One of my best friends is so funny. She's not even a minimalist in regards to owning physical things, but she's such a digital minimalist. She literally has no emails, even her WhatsApp messages. She just deletes them all once she's done with them. I'm honestly in awe of her. That's how I want my digital system to be. It just means you don't open your phone or laptop and want to have a heart attack because there's just so much going on. My next tip is limiting social media at certain times. Classic, gotta be said. Social media, big thumbs down. I mean, to be fair, I'm not gonna give it a big thumbs down because it's got its pros and its cons, doesn't it? But for the most part, I think it's con. It's so distracting and it's so addictive and people don't realise how distracting and addictive it is. Everyone's claiming they've got ADHD these days. Maybe some people do, but I honestly think a large part is just short form content. It's rotting our brains away. Our brains are melting. No wonder we can't focus on anything. We're used to just quick release dopamine. Just by logging yourself off, I've actually just deleted the app off my phone. I only have Instagram through my laptop, which I think is helpful because, you know, I'll open Instagram on my laptop and I'm not going to have the same tendency to just scroll endlessly because it feels a bit more official when you open it on your laptop. But another thing to use is the app Opal, which I did use for a bit. It was quite good. It just blocks your apps from a certain time. So I had mine blocked from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I just found after 7 p.m. I'd still scroll. So that's why I just got rid of it on my phone altogether. Or just delete the app. Someone I was talking to said their friend just fully deleted Instagram and just downloaded it every Sunday and went on it for a bit and then just deleted it again. Because I mean, it doesn't actually take that long to delete the app and re-download it. So if you really want to do that, or just delete it fully and then you're really better than everyone else. You are on like a higher level to everyone else and I will respect that. I just haven't deleted it fully because I have loads of friends I've met on travels that I don't necessarily have their WhatsApp. And it's nice to just get updates with them. What they really need to do is create Instagram Messenger, the same as Facebook Messenger, but for Instagram. So you don't have to go on the rot, but you can still use messages if you want. I did actually email Mark Zuckerberg about it. I was like, what's up, Mark? How about you do this? But I don't think he's going to do that because he wants us addicted. So I don't think he's going to change it. So just got to be wary about it. Social media, not good for your brains. Next tip I've got to say, because I am a minimalist, I'm going to mention it, and it's owning less in general, or just not having clutter. Just keep your space minimal. Stop owning all this random shit that you have. I think once you start decluttering and owning less, you realise when you go into other people's spaces how bloody chaotic it is. Less stuff means less things to look after, which just simplifies your life. You're not having to spend your time fixing things, cleaning things, blah, 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 blah. Fewer items, fewer decisions, life's simpler. It feels more calm having an empty space around you. I just don't understand people that love clutter, but some of my friends do. They just think it's like homely, and I'm like, no. Too much shit. I don't want it. I want empty room. It's on a spectrum, you know. Some people go real extreme and just don't want anything. Some people are like, oh, I'll have a few things here and there. Owning less and having less in your space is a great one to simplify your life. Number 10 is taking fewer photos. I've started taking way less photos and it's great. I think it's also using social media less. People often just take photos for the sake of putting it on social media. It's our generation, whatever, that's fine. And I like taking photos, but just for the sake of social media, I think so stupid. But anyway, you know, we've all been into this little trap before, trying to impress people on Instagram, whatever. It's just a stupid game to play. I'm still very nostalgic and I love photos and videos from holidays or trips I've done or even just day to day. But my thing this summer is I have a few little holidays planned or camping trips and I just want to film them and not take photos because I think filming is so much nicer. I'll take a load of videos, edit them all together and then get rid of all the excess rubbishy like short videos. I just want one video to summarize my trip. So much better than having loads of photos. I think it's just a better way to look back at memories and feel nostalgic. I took a few videos for a few of my holidays before, and I love watching them back. Like, me and my friends will always watch them back because it's so nice to see. And my biggest regret when I did my huge trip around Australia and Asia was that I didn't film it. Some of my friends that I met out there did film things, and I've got these sort of video montages that they made, but I'm so upset that I didn't make one. And I have photos obviously from everything, but I just think video is so much better. And it just simplifies things because it stops you taking loads of endless photos, having to go through, delete them, declutter them, all that. Instead, you can just take videos, edit them together, make a little montage, delete the raw footage, and then you just have a nice summary of your trip. Great. Number 11, completely different topic, but it's to do with hair, and it's keeping my hair shorter. I've had long hair for bits of time, but when I shorten it, it's tied up so you can't really tell, but it's sort of shoulder length, like a bob or a long bob. So much easier to deal with. Long hair's just annoying. You have to have way more steps in your hair care routine. You have to actually look after it. I don't wear my hair down that much generally anyway, but I just love short hair. Makes it so easy. And that brings me on to my final point, number 12, which is still about hair, and it's not using conditioner, which sounds kind of crazy, but when I cut my hair shorter, there's less hair. I feel like I don't need to condition it. I do use a conditioning shampoo, and my hair is quite thin, and I think it just works better without having anything weighing it down. But it does feel like no matter what I do to my hair, it sort of just comes out the same anyway. If anyone's got thin, curly hair, like thin as in like there's not a lot of hair, let me know what your hair care routine is, because I haven't really worked mine out, but at the moment I literally just use a conditioning shampoo. I'm sort of trying out a few different ones. That's the way that suits me well. I love just having one product in the shower, so easy, because I use my shampoo as body wash as well. I'm not about to buy another thing. They all clean the skin, the hair, whatever. Same shit, just a different bottle, do you know what I mean? I'm just a big fan of one product, and I have tried to go really natural with my products before, but then they don't really work. You know, you gotta have a balance. I don't want things harming my skin, but I also don't want products that don't work. I was trying a 2-in-1 conditioner shampoo before, but I don't know, I just like the moisturising shampoo. It does enough for me. One of my best friends has super long hair, and it's really silky, shiny, straight, quite thick, and she doesn't use conditioner either, so I think this conditioning thing's a scam. I also kind of feel like the shampoo thing's a scam, but I have tried to go shampoo free for a bit in the past, and my hair, it was really rotten. I was like, I don't think this is for me. I know there's a period of like change where your hair just gets used to it, but it felt like I wasn't getting out of that for many, many weeks, so I gave up. But yeah, just simplifying your hair care routine makes life simpler. Same with skincare, it applies to anything. Fewer products, easier way of living, simpler way of living. That's all my tips. I hope that helped anyone. Let me know if that was useful. Thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Ciao, ciao.